Hey, just wanted to expand a bit more on a topic I broached near the end of video 3 in this series on the teleology of Plato. So let me just add a few comments. We will not, quote unquote, become immortal any more than anyone can become eternal or infinite. If there was a time when you were not, as this individual instantiation of yourself, then you are not eternal and you never will be. If there was a time when you were not, and you aren't now, omnipresent, then by definition you cannot be infinite, now or in the future. The same idea holds true for immortality. Immortality is something that someone must have by nature. And if he has it by nature, then that means he was never caused, never created, never took a birth, etc. So immortality is simply a fundamental attribute of the Creator, of he, she, who is uncreated and uncaused. So we're forced to concede that in a future self-realized state, the immortality that we accede to is an immortality that is communicated to us on a regular basis through ingesting something, taking something that renews us biologically. What will happen is that we will become conditionally immortal. We will become immortal in the sense that we cannot, for example, die of disease or sickness. We can regrow limbs. So we won't die. There are a lot of scenarios in which we will not be able to die. But a person could still die of violence, let's say. Now we won't be in this solid physical body. So you can't get hit by a truck and die. You can't get shot with a bullet and die, that sort of thing. But we will become gods, and as gods, we will be doing battle with the demonic realm, with the enemies of God. And just as the demons can be slayed in battle, and you see this in all around the world, in mythologies all around the world. Christianity seems to be unique in saying that angels can't die when they do battle. Just as demons can be slayed, the gods can be slayed. But the gods come back. They arise again. They get reincarnated. That's how I see things going down. So life in the hereafter, while it won't be this idealized immortality, this pipe dream of a heaven that is spoon-fed to us by Plato and the church fathers, is not how things are going to play out. Life is going to be much more interesting, and we will actually do the things that make humans happy. The things that make humans happy are the things the things that we'll be doing there are the things we already do here that we love, only it'll be better. So things like feasting, drinking, dancing, engaging in revelry, lovemaking, all of that stuff will continue. It has to be one of the biggest cosmic jokes played on humanity that at least 4 billion people, 2 billion Christians and 2 billion Muslims, think that something along the lines of, I can't speak for Muslims too much. Things are quite different, actually, in Islam, somewhat. 2 billion Christians, let's say 1/4 of the world, has been tricked into thinking that a good time is standing around in a sea of white robes, waving palm branches incessantly while performing an eternal liturgy. No one fantasizes about that. No one wants to do that if they're honest with themselves. Humans want to continue doing what has always made humans happy. And it will just be amped up 100-fold in terms of the level of enjoyment we get out of it. So it is another feature of this dualism we have been deconstructing, whether it is Plato's forms or Christianity's cosmology, which is very similar to Plato's, where they see this world as an analog of this uncreated world in the mind of God, with no explanation for how these two things can be brought into union. It is the idea that we are going to become immortal is a pipe dream, because it's like saying that the person of Jesus, that the person of Christ can link the uncreated with the created, or that this concept of emanationism is somehow going to solve that problem, or that the uncreated energies in Eastern Orthodoxy are going to solve that problem. The reason that these two realms will never be reconciled by positing a middle term in which that term is either created or uncreated or a mix of both, is because, again, you are borrowing from the very categories that require reconciling, and so you will never reconcile them as a result. The created cannot reconcile the created and uncreated. The uncreated cannot reconcile the uncreated and created, because you will always have those two things, the created and the uncreated. I'm going to explain in more detail in this series the way in which the world is eternally caused by God, and how we can understand the relationship, that relationship, without positing some middle term between the uncreated God and the world which is caused. The caused, temporal existence. That will do it for this one, for this video. I'm going to come back and expand. I might do, I don't know how many more videos I'm going to do, because each video sort of spawns new thoughts, but at least 2 more. And I want to go into more detail at some point here about why one must posit a divine person as a metaphysical prerequisite for explaining reality, and why impersonalism is doomed to go in circles. So let's pick up there.